It's Friday 3 p.m. I'm sitting in a Target parking lot and ready to start shopping for another people because I need to make some money to afford my own groceries. As my fridge is empty. So let's see how much I can make today. I was driving today and saw gas at around $5 a gallon. And I don't know, it just hit me a bit different than usual. I still had half a tank, so it wasn't like I had to panic or anything, but it made me start thinking about how this one number somehow connected to everything else I spent money on. And I don't mean that in some abstract economy is complicated way. It was more like I started noticing how often fuel shows up behind this sense of everyday life. Because when you really think about it, almost everything physical we buy has to move before we even see it. It doesn't just appear in a store. It gets picked up somewhere, loaded, transported, unloaded, moved again. And all of that movement depends on fuel. Trucks especially, delivery systems, distribution. It's all constantly moving things from one place to another. So when fuel gets more expensive, it's not like one single price changes somewhere. It just slowly shows up everywhere in the system, what depends on movement. And then I started thinking a bit deeply, not just how things move, but where they even start. Like food, for example. It doesn't just get transported. It has to be produced first. And that also involves machinery, harvesting, planting, processing, all of which is not happening by hand anymore at scale. It's industrial. So fuel isn't only about transportation. It's also part of how food is actually made in the first place. And what I found interesting is what a lot of people don't really see that part. You see the price in a store, but not everything what happened before it got there. Then there are inputs like fertilizers and agricultural chemicals, which I don't even fully think about on a daily basis. But they are also tied into energy in some way. The production of those things, the transport of them, everything is connected to broader energy costs. So it's almost 7 p.m. and I spent an hour and a half just waiting for more orders and nothing show up. So I think it's time to do my own groceries now. And I guess what I started realizing is what it's not just one thing going up. It's more like different parts of the system reacting at the same time. Even things like keeping food cold, milk, vegetables, frozen products, all of that needs consistent refrigeration. So even after food is produced and transported, it still needs energy just to stay in the condition we expect when we buy it. And refrigeration doesn't really stop. Those systems run in trucks, in warehouses, in distribution centers, and then again in the stores itself. 24 hours a day. You don't really think about that when you grab something from the shelf, but all of that energy is part of what keeps food available the way we are used to seeing it. And that part is kind of invisible when you're just standing in a grocery store. You are not seeing the electricity usage, or the logistics, or the transport, what happened before it got there. You're just seeing the final number. And today I was looking at my own grocery basket. And it wasn't anything unusual, just basic stuff, nothing fancy. Some produce, a couple of simple things for the week. The kind of groceries you don't really think about, just normal everyday food. But even then, it still added up more than I expected. And that's what made me think about all of this in the first place. Because I don't think it's about one specific item getting expensive. It feels more like everything underneath it has a small increase, and by the time it reaches you, it becomes noticeable. Not dramatic all at once, but enough that you start noticing it when you are standing at checkout. So I'm actually curious about something. Have you changed the way you shop because of grocery prices lately? Like buying different things, switching stores, or just cutting some stuff out completely? So I'm finally home. I was able to get 6 orders and I made $77 with tips. So my groceries are covered and it's it for today.